Hello, my sweet friends. Your host Shurma here. A very warm welcome to another brand new floral tutorial on my art channel. Would you like to paint some red poppies with me? If yes, then come along. Let's get started. Here is the list of supplies which I would be using for today's project. So let's begin with chapter 1, that is preparing the background for the painting. I have a few elements with me. The first is a white side folding card base, and it is around 4 inches by 6 inches in size. I go ahead and fold the top of the card base along the midline, and I will chop off the second half. The next element is a piece of white watercolor paper, and it is 3.7 inches by 5.5 inches in size. The next two elements are a pale green and a black cardstock, and they are roughly around 6 inches by 6 inches in size. I will be using them for matting the card panel. In the next step, I go ahead and bring back the white watercolor piece, and I place it on an absorbent piece of paper, and I'm using some liquid watercolors like blue, green and yellow to create a fun background. I place some drops of the color right on top of the piece of paper, and I use my flat brush, which is totally dripping wet, and I try to bring down the color from top to bottom and form these whimsical lines. I also use my brush to spread the color, and once I'm happy with the background, I leave it to dry. Then comes chapter number 2, painting the poppies. Here is the palette for the poppy flowers. I have red acrylic, yellow, orange, brown and white acrylic. I have a flat brush number 6 in hand, and I am loading it with red acrylic color on one side, orange on the other, a bit of white on the side of the orange, and blending the colors well. So this is triple loading of the brush, 3 colors on the same brush. Next, I go ahead and bring my flat brush number 4, and I am using the red color along with a bit of white on it, and I am creating a very loose form of the poppy flower. Next, I bring back my flat brush number 6, and it is loaded with red acrylic, yellow and a bit of white. And here I begin creating the poppy petals. Now the technique which I am using here is a decorative stroke technique. Here I use multiple colors on the same brush, and that helps to bring about beautiful shading and highlighting in a single stroke of the brush. Here I have brought in some brown to give some depth to the petals. Let me share with you a bit about poppies while you watch me paint them. Poppies are herbaceous plants and are grown for their colorful flowers. There are many species of poppy, and their petals are very showy. They usually bloom from spring to early summer, and the bees use poppies as a pollen source. Poppies are used as a symbol of peace and hope, and particularly as a wartime remembrance. Red flowered poppy is considered as the national flower of Albania and Poland. According to Robert Burns, pleasures are like poppies spread. You seize the flowers, its bloom is shed. And as Moina Michael said, and I quote, "We cherish too the poppy red that grows on fields where valor led. It seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies." Isn't that awesome? Poppies usually grow wild on wartime fields, and that is the reason they are used to signify and remember the fallen soldiers. At this point, I'm working on the second poppy flower. In fact, there will be one more which I would be doing off camera, or else the video will become too long. Here I've brought in more of yellow to add to the petals. This will turn the red hue to more of yellow, and there will be more of shading on the petals. Now this is a filbert brush, and I bring in to create the center with brown. And to also adjust the petals and add more of shading to them, I can go ahead and add white, orange or yellow as well as red, depending upon the look I wish for. At present, I'm adding more of white. I'm trying to create the folds with the help of the filbert brush. I keep adding more color and adjust the shading and the look of the petals until I'm satisfied. Here there is more of bright red that merges into the white, and that brings a lot of dimension to the flowers. At this point, I bring in more of acrylic white, then a bit of red, and orange. At this point, it seems that the florals are popping out of the paper. Do you think the same way too? Yeah, then you must leave a comment and let me know your thoughts, and it would be really nice to hear from you, and it helps me to understand your perception of the painting, because I feel any kind of constructive criticism is always helpful for an artist, and I gleefully look forward to them. There is a third poppy as well, and we will see it in a bit. At this point, the poppies look good enough to me, so let's move on to chapter number 3, that is creating the leaves and buds. Here is the palette for the leaves. I have sap green, olive green, yellow, orange, white acrylic as well as red acrylic, and I have a flat brush number 6 in hand. This is black acrylic and I've kept it away from rest of the colors. So here I'm loading my flat brush number 6 with sap green and white and a bit of yellow. That is once again triple loading of the brush, and I need to blend the colors well. Next I go ahead and bring in my liner brush, and I have black on it, and I'm just trying to go over the browns with black. Once done, I bring in my flat brush number 6 and I have a bit of yellow on it, and I'm just going through the poppy petals once more to create a little more of shading before I go on to create the greenery. Next, I have a liner brush in hand and I'm just reinforcing the white folds of the flower. Next comes the stems. I'm using my liner brush and sap green and a bit of olive green to create the poppy stems. Here I'm trying to find out the proper positions, and that will help me to place the leaves at the right spots. Once I'm happy with the positioning of the stems, I go ahead and add more of green to make them thicker. I'm also adjusting the background a bit because I want the stems to be more prominent. That's another stem. Once I'm satisfied with the stems, I go ahead and bring in my flat brush number 4 and I have red acrylic and yellow on it, and I'm creating the poppy buds. Next, I bring in my flat brush number 6 to create the poppy leaves, and the flat brush is loaded with sap green, olive green and yellow, and a bit of white as well. Hope you're enjoying watching me create the poppy flowers and the leaves. Would you like to learn the decorative technique which I am using here? If you do, then in that case, I would definitely encourage you to please visit my past floral videos, and I would be very happy to drop some of the links in the description box below. You can also find them in case you happen to click on the I button, which is on the right hand top corner of this screen. Alright, so here I'm using a liner brush and I have yellow, white and green on it, and I'm creating the flower centers. Next I bring in some white acrylic only on my liner brush and I'm adding some light spots on the green stems. Well, now it's time to assemble the note card. So here are the elements which I have, and here you can see how I have put the card together. Once all the elements are glued and the sentiment is attached, then this is how it looks. And yes friends, that's a wrap on today's tutorial, and I hope you had fun watching me create the red poppies on the note card. Do let me know in the comment box below, and I would be very happy to read your thoughts. If you have any queries or suggestions, then please put them down as well. It would be nice if you choose to follow me on my social media handles, and I would be very happy to be in touch with you. A very big thank you for all the love and support you show to my channel. Your comments, your likes, your support as subscribers, they are all very important to me. And as always, thank you for watching till the end. Friends, here are some of my past floral painting video tutorials. You might like to check them out too. We'll be back with more floral painting videos. Till then, stay tuned, take good care of yourself, and bye-bye.